Harvesting açai is a dangerous job in Brazil. Workers climb thin palm trees deep in the Amazon rainforest.
Ela pode chegar lá em cima, no pegar do cacho, ela quebrar, no meio que ela é frágil.
These berries have become one of the most popular so-called superfoods in the US, and they aren't cheap. One bowl can cost up to $15. And while the berry has exploded in popularity in recent decades, small farms like this haven't really been able to cash in.
A gente fica com a menor parte do lucro aqui na comunidade, né?
To this day, most açai in Brazil is harvested by families on small-scale farms.
Mas é uma dádiva de Deus. Uma importância muito grande para nós, para nossa alimentação, para nossa sobrevivência.
So how did this Amazonian fruit become so trendy? And what is the true cost for the people who have been harvesting it for generations? His family's farm is roughly 70 miles from Belém, the capital of the state of Pará, which grows more than 90% of the açai produced in Brazil. The only tool they use to climb is a single piece of rope called a piconha. They used to be made of leaves. The trunks are so thin that climbers have to be lightweight.
É perigoso, sim. O cara tá lá em cima e uma árvore quebrar. É arriscado o cara quebrar o braço, quebrar o pé.
Lucas and his family harvested 53 baskets like these in 2021, earning them an income of about $950. That's as little as 20 cents per pound. Meanwhile, a pound of processed açai sorbet can sell for $7 or more in the US. Part of the issue is that Lucas has to sell his açai as soon as possible because the fruit goes bad fast. That leaves farmers who don't have processing machines with little leverage to negotiate.
Não tem empresa aqui na nossa comunidade. A gente vende para atravessador, para poder chegar na mão daquelas pessoas que vão beneficiar, que vão se dar bem.
Merchants bring the açai to Belém by boat. It's a race against the clock to sell the fruit before it spoils, so markets run overnight. The price of the baskets varies every day, depending on the demand.
Hoje, em média, paneiro desse aqui está custando, hoje, 60.
Você sabia que uma tigela de açaí nos Estados Unidos custa R$80? $15.
Quanto?
Some açai gets transported to processing facilities like North Açai. Every day, 22 tons of fruit are turned into frozen pulp, the açai that most people outside of Pará are familiar with. Today, more than 70% of Brazil's açai exports end up in the States. The global market for açai is expected to reach nearly $2.1 billion by the end of 2025.
Mercado como a China abrir as fronteiras para consumir esse produto, vamos aumentar.
Açai's popularity took off in other Brazilian states in the 1980s, when it became part of workout culture in Rio and Sao Paulo. The Bulls made regular appearances in this popular 90s soap opera that took place at a gym. Its high-calorie content made it a perfect pre- or post-exercise food, and its antioxidants made it easy to brand a superfood. That came with claims that it can solve all sorts of health issues, like
obesity, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, strokes, hypertension, high risk for COVID-19, cognitive difficulties, sexual difficulties.
But nutritionists say this narrative has been blown out of proportion.
Wait a minute. One food can't do that, can it? No, of course not.
Indigenous people living in the Amazon have harvested and consumed açai for centuries, maybe even millennia, and it's still a staple food in the daily diet of people in Pará, who eat it fresh with savory meals.
É uma cultura porque vai passando de pai para filho, de avô para neto, né?
Nowadays, Lucas owns this land along with 55 other families. These kinds of settlements are called quilombos, or a quilombola community, and many go back centuries. They were established by enslaved Africans and Afro-descendants who ran away into the jungle and started communities like this to survive. Many learned from indigenous people how to harvest and process native foods, including acai. The Brazilian government estimates there are nearly 6,000 quilombola communities in the country, and a 2013 study found roughly 75% still lived in extreme poverty.
Mas é uma comunidade rica, né? A gente se diz assim pobre, mas se torna rico, né? De espírito.
But larger monoculture plantations that produce more fruit are on the rise. The amount of land used for these plantations has more than tripled since 2006.
A gente trata como sistemas homogêneos muito frágeis, né? De pouca resiliência.
These plantations are often located far away from floodplains where acai trees naturally thrive. That means big producers have to irrigate their acai trees, while farmers like Lucas rely on natural seasonal flooding from the nearby river.
Isso sem falar no problema da biodiversidade por inteiro, né? Se você, enfim, transforma a Amazônia em plantios.
Some small producers have also been favoring acai trees over others, which could become an issue in the long run. And experts worry that as acai's popularity continues to grow, the cultural traditions of Pará and the Amazon could be lost.
Tendendo a transformar o açaí numa commodity. Isso é ruim.
Acai is something Lucas and many people here take pride in.
Esse aqui é o processo do nosso açaí para o nosso consumo local. Isso. Olha aí, a gente bota um pouquinho de farinha aqui dentro, né, do açaí. Tira aqui um pedacinho dele aqui, um pouco do feijão, um pouco do arroz. Aqui. Aí um pouquinho do açaí. O açaí normal, puro. E vocês vão ver a delícia que é o nosso açaí. Obrigado.